Tonight we're sitting down with one of our newer staffers. This is Aiden Holden from Michigan. What's up, Aiden?
How's it going, guys?
We are doing good. We are actually heading into Memorial Day weekend. This is the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, and so kind of excited to be able to get a chance to just kind of relax, unwind, and celebrate, the reason for the season, I guess, So it'll be nice to be able to hang out with family and that sort of thing. So Aiden, you being a new staff member, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? What do you like hunting? What are you in the outdoor industry?
So my name's Aiden Holden. I'm from Coopersville. 20 years old. I do irrigation for soak irrigation, some underground sprinkling, and do photography on the side for hunting and fishing and pretty much all outdoor related, especially with fall obsession, of course. So, I've grown up outdoors. I've pretty much done everything my whole life the outdoors has been escape almost.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
find myself out there.
Very therapeutic. I tell people all the time, I would, my happy place is just going out and sitting for 12 hours at a time. I can sit from dusk, dawn to dusk. And that doesn't bother me whatsoever. And some people, geez, they get really squirmy after an hour.
Yeah. There's no better feeling than just sitting outside and just taking it all in, what God gave us.
Heather.
And very avid waterfowl hunter. I very much love duck hunting, goose hunting, pretty much anything, ducks and geese.
I was going to say, the rumor is you're the Birdman of Coopersville.
That's the rumor. A lot of people like to bring it up. I'm pretty honored to have that title in a way. Worked pretty hard for it. I love turkey hunting. Turkey hunting is probably the second for me. I mean, there is nothing better than getting a gobbler to come in. So
you said waterfowl is your number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. It's a close fight for 1 and 2 there between ducks and turkey. I think the only problem is that turkey's in the spring.
Sure.
So it kind of gives ducks the number one spot. But
what draws you more so to waterfowl as opposed to turkey? You said, turkey is your number 2, waterfowl being your number 1. What makes that distinction?
Part of it is I've duck hunted my whole life. I've done it since, there's a picture of me with my toy shotgun and a mallard, and the mallard's about as big as I am. And I've done it my whole life with my grandpa. My grandpa was, he's a big part of that.
Sure.
A lot of memories made with him, duck hunting, and also just like the group of guys you get with. I've got a great group of buddies I went to school with. One of my buddies, Evan Busman, he's a great buddy of mine. And we get out, Carter, a bunch of other guys, we all got spots. We all put in decoys. We all put in the work, and all comes together. And it's just, there's nothing that beats just a group of honkers just
absolutely
right in.
I've never actually gone Canadian goose hunting before.
We got to change that. We got to change that.
You see them all the time out here out on our back when we're sitting out there, hunting deer and that sort of thing. They're always flying over. And so I think I tried to sneak up on them one time. That was when I was headed out to my blind with my bow. And I thought, and I think I ranged them at 70 yards. And then I'm like, can I get any closer? And then all of a sudden, the whole field blew up. So
they're pretty smart.
Yeah, so Andy tells me the same thing. Andy Meeks, when I was with him on the snow goose hunt this past March, he said same thing. When I told him I've never actually gone and tried to consciously hunt. I've never actually gone now with the focus of trying to harvest a Canadian goose. And he said, "Man, you're missing out."
That's probably why waterfowl hunting is my favorite, because you have to have everything perfect. You have to have the blinds need to look good. Your decoys need to look real. You need to call real. You need to sound like a goose.
Sure.
And then also you just have to be where they want to be.
Sure.
When you're hunting a deer, and this is not to discredit deer hunting, but that buck has got his set range. He's going to live in there. He's going to do, everything he does in that area for the most part.
Sure.
He could bump off, whatever, but you can be hunting geese. There's 500 in this field one day. Next day you go set up and they're 2.5 miles away.
Gotcha.
And there's just, I feel like that too, the grind for it, especially around here in Coopersville where we're from, it's hard.
Sure.
A lot of it's lease only, a lot of pay for fields. And as us young guys, we don't got the money to pay for no field. So
No, and,
It's just so much more of a reward when you finally get in that good hunt with 6 of your buddies.
and it pays off, right? It pays off, and it's
can't beat it.
You can't beat the feeling, right?
No.
So you said you talked about leases around here, and how does that go with the local farmers? Do you just approach the local farmer and just say, hey, how do you go about trying to get permission or gain permission to?
So my biggest tip is go into it with the answer is going to be no.
Okay.
Go in there, have some confidence, and you also have to understand where the landowner is coming from.
Sure.
They are trusting you to go on their property, to have use to their property.
Sure.
So you kind of just go in there and, introduce yourself, and you're probably going to get 100 no's before you get one yes. And then you finally get that one yes, and it's like, boom, we're in. And you might get 1-2 good hunts out of there, but that's all that matters. You get some good hunts and it's great time.
Now it's crazy because here in the state of Michigan, isn't it is it 5 geese?
Yep.
Total in the season, right? Five honkers totally in the season.
5 a day.
5 a day.
So you can shoot 5 a day per person.
Oh, okay. So that's not as bad as I was thinking, because I don't know if there's a limit on snow geese here in Michigan, and I've never seen a snow goose here in Michigan.
So at I think, was it 2-3 years ago with the Canadian wildfires, those smokes actually, we started to see I think I saw 5 one year.
Oh, okay.
Just very spread out. You would not catch them if you weren't looking, kind of thing. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then actually last year, the wastewater, one of the draw places that's around here, they actually shot, a group of guys shot 8 speckle bellies out of there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of just, after that, the wildfires and the smoke, it kind of just tossed everything around. We've been seeing more shovelers around, which you don't normally see those. I shot a widgeon last winter.
Oh, yeah, that's what you're saying.
And you'll see them, but not very often. And we've seen some good, different birds. It's kind of cool seeing the way they're changing their migration. Yeah,
that is crazy. And I know weather has a big factor in that as well. We went on our last crane hunt. We were having a really hard time. The crane hunt that we went on the year before, we maxed out in 20 minutes. Yep. There were 7 of us. You can shoot 3 birds a day, and we maxed out. We had 21 birds in 20 minutes. So we had the rest of the day to do whatever. We're like, man, it's 7:30 and we're done hunting for the day.
Yeah.
This is crazy. But the second year we went, it was a struggle. And the reason why it was a struggle is because it was really, really warm at that time of year. And we actually went the week between Christmas and New Year's. And again, with it being so warm, the geese were just now getting down there. So they were pushing the cranes off of the decoys. Yep. And so the cranes would come into decoy, but then the geese would fly by, and then the cranes would match up with them, and then they'd take off. Oh, yeah. Man, it was so frustrating and such a challenge, but
can't ever beat live decoys.
Never can beat live decoys. Exactly. Regardless if it's bird hunting or deer hunting or whatever the case may be. Turkey hunting, I found, man, if I put a decoy out, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It never works. I've never had a decoy work for me, other than when I hunted with Kendra down in Georgia, she put a live decoy, and that thing made a beeline right to the decoy. But me personally, if I put a live decoy out, it doesn't work. My success has always come from nature.
Yep.
My first turkey I ever shot, I went out in the morning and I had an owl above me hooting. And all of a sudden I had a tom just start gobbling like crazy right next to me. And when he popped up, he was coming right for that owl.
Oh, yeah.
It made my job, because it was in the same tree. It was right above me. It made my job really easy. But again, if like you said, live decoys, you have turkey, you have deer, you have geese, you have whatever, they're going to come right to it.
Yeah.
And so, and even turkeys, I noticed that this year when I was hunting, that if there were deer in the field, turkeys would come to the deer and vice versa.
I always say where the deer are, the turkeys aren't far.
Yeah.
You can always, if you see deer in a field, do another lap around the block, give it 5 minutes, can guarantee you those turkeys are going to be right behind them.
Absolutely. So you shot a turkey this year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, how did that go?
It was great. Got my girlfriend her first bird too. Right, shot a double.
You guys both shot him at the same time?
Yep.
That's right. You had the video up, right? And you both were in the blind.
Yeah, I had my buddy Evan again. Shout out to Evan. He was out there with us, and we sat there I had a beautiful spot. I was my family friend, Bill Funk, thank you again too to him. He let me come out there, and he's like, put the pop-up blind right there and come out, and I can almost guarantee you they'll come. And so sat out there opening day in the afternoon. I went out by myself in the morning and had a couple close calls with some gobblers. Didn't really pursue them too hard just because I knew me and my girlfriend Shelby were going out in the afternoon.
Yeah. You didn't want to mess up.
So we went out. We were sitting there for 20 minutes. It was a little windy. My buddy Evan pulls the box call out, hits the box call once, and they gobbled. We just gobbled like 80 yards away.
Sure. Now, could you see them right away, or could you see them working through the woods? Or
no, they were through some trees a little bit, kind of in like a little opening in the trees, just hanging out, looking for a hen, waiting. And so one gobbled right away. He did the box call again. They both fired up, and then we just shut up. And I mean,
let nature do its work.
Yeah, you guys should definitely check out the video. It was I was shaking like a leaf.
I think it's still posted on YouTube, right?
Yep. And I mean, they came in. My buddy was sitting behind me, and he's got his binos up, and he looks. He goes, Aiden. And he shows he's like, they're good birds. They're good birds. They're coming. I was like, all right. So I just started trying to calm my girlfriend Shelby down. I was like, hey, just breathe.
Was she freaking out a little bit?
Oh, she was shaking.
She never shot a bird before.
Nope. We tried a couple times last year. She missed, and that happens. I missed plenty of birds too.
Yeah.
And
anything.
They didn't make it easy for us too. They were strutting their whole way in. So I'm sitting there too, just shaking like a leaf, because I never had them come into decoys. Like you said, I never had them. We had a Jake, an Avion 3-4 strut Jake out and a hen, and they just did not like it. Came right in, strutting, and I mean, it was probably 20-yard shot. It was like 1, 2, 3, boom.
You both shot at the same time?
Yep.
Okay.
And so I actually did not hit my bird very good, because I put my barrel on him, and then I started watching her bird, because I wanted her to get her bird.
Yeah.
And they were so close. I was like, I'm going to hit mine. I'm going to hit it. And so I pulled the trigger, and you can see in the video, he like backflips, and he starts running, and my buddy's like, shoot him again. And I quick pump another one in, and boom, dropped him. And I shot his beard off a little bit, unfortunately. Took my grandpa out there the next day, and you could see a bunch of it laying on the ground.
So when I hunted with Kendra, that thing came from way across the field, really windy day, but she called him right in, and like I said, made a beeline right to the decoy. When he cleared some brush, as soon as I saw him, I had the bead, and I shot, and the thing went, fell right over. We go walking out there, and I look at it, I'm like, Kendra, this was a tom, right?
Yeah.
I say, oh yeah. She goes, it's a tom for sure. He was strutting. I go, that's what I thought. I go, he doesn't have a beard.
Shot it clean off.
So she starts looking, here's a piece. So we had to piece the beard back together and then get measurements and stuff.
So my biggest thing too with turkey hunting is I preach it. It's not, to me, the spur, the beard length, how big he weighs, that don't matter. No, it's all about the situation. Like, it's
the memory.
If you're sitting there, and my grandpa told me this growing up, he's like, I tell him, I'm not going to shoot a doe tomorrow. I'm going to wait for a buck. And he goes, you'll never know till you're in that situation.
Exactly.
You can sit here and say you're not going to shoot this, you're not going to shoot that, but until that moment comes and you're sitting there shaking, and it's like, why pass that up?
Absolutely.
That's what you're out there to do. If you're not shaking like that, then you don't really enjoy it. I mean,
I remember the first doe I shot this year. I got up, and I don't typically hunt a lot in the mornings unless we get to rifle season. Once you get to rifle season, as you know, around here, it's hard to see deer after the first 3 days of rifle season, because just they're pressured so much and they're scattered and that sort of thing. So I don't typically hunt mornings until we get to either the hardcore rut or rifle season. And so I decided to go out one morning in October. So I think it was at the end of October, and I got up, and Heather had mentioned to me, hey, come back with some meat. She goes, I don't care if it's a buck, doe, whatever, come back. So my mind right away, I'm like, okay, if I see anything, if anything comes in range, I'm going to shoot
green light.
It. Yeah, green light. So sure enough, I had a doe come in, and I ended up smacking her. I put a real good shot on her. And shortly after that, an 8-point walks up underneath me, but he was like a younger 8-point, so I just kind of let him go. And then after that, I had a group of hens come in, so I ended up shooting a hen.
There you go.
So I doubled up on a turkey and a doe on my first one. And then my hunting season last year was if I shot one doe, I ended up doubling up. So that was kind of cool. So that was a pretty fun experience. But like you said, you don't know what's going to happen. I didn't go out there intending on shooting a turkey. In fact, even with Heather telling me, hey, if you shoot a doe or buck, whatever, just bring some meat, my thought is hopefully I get a chance at something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like you said, you don't know what's going to actually happen until you get your butt in the stand, right? And then just kind of let the day play out, you know, and when your opportunities are there, you know, you got to take them. There are times too where if I shoot a buck early, then I get a little more picky and I get a little bit, or if I shot a younger buck maybe the year before, then I enter the season a little more picky, looking for that trophy buck. And then as the season goes on, and it's like, well, I haven't had many opportunities, so now I'm looking for anything that gives me an opportunity. You know,
so, that's how I was. Deer hunting in West Michigan is pretty hard. Like especially, and if you don't own property, I don't have any property of my own to hunt, all door knocking. So I got very, very lucky, and I got a piece of property, and it's only like 10 acres, if that, tiny. And my thing is, I can't really manage it. Can't really.
Yeah, it's tough.
You like get what deer I want to be there. So I go into it with I'm trying to get meat. Yeah, I want some deer sticks at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'll shoot. I call it getting the skunk out of the bag. First deer of the year is getting one down, and after that, be picky with it.
Yeah, exactly.
No point holding back. If you want venison, you want venison.
And that was actually a benefit. So years ago, we were able to bait here in Michigan, and that was a benefit of baiting because you would get deer to come in, and you could kind of pick and choose the ones that as they're coming in. You know, because obviously if they come in the pile, you set the pile up, you know, to give yourself an opportunity. And so if you don't want to shoot a doe and a doe comes in, you don't have to shoot, knowing that you're going to get opportunities as they come in. Or if you have a buck come in, that might not be the buck that you want, because you'll have opportunities for bigger bucks or whatever the buck that you're looking for to come in. So that was definitely a benefit of baiting. You had more opportunities to pick and choose the deer that you want to harvest. Right.
If you don't shoot the deer, deer gets free food.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's growing. Yeah. That's why, I mean, with us, the UP can bait because they don't have very much food up there. And,
right.
I mean,
exactly. The UP is the Upper Peninsula for those outside of Michigan and maybe Midwest. I think Midwesterners know what we mean by UP. So, going back to bird hunting, what do you eat the honkers?
Oh, I make them in a goose jerky.
Oh, do you?
It's pretty good. I have a very not good stomach when it comes to the duck and goose, just because they're very gamey.
I was gonna say, how does duck compare to goose?
I'd say the goose is a little more tougher, a little more gamier. I mean, they're bigger, more muscle on them. But like wood duck, and a mallard, you can't beat a mallard. Like those two,
because of the fat.
Yeah, they're so good too. Like they're eating corn and beans and all the good stuff. And you can't beat them. You throw them on a grill, some Montreal steak seasoning.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's perfect.
You ever smoke it?
I've not. I want to get into smoking. I've not tried it yet.
It's actually really easy. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, we got the 2 smokers on the porch when you came up. So
we're gonna have to get those going with some geese.
Well, we started during COVID. We got a smoker during COVID, and so we just started smoking anything. We started smoking Lakers out of Lake Michigan that we were catching.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was really good. So we started smoking that, and then salmon, and then we started smoking even just regular hamburger patties. We'll throw them in the smoker, and man, they come out just phenomenal. They're really tender, really juicy, got that smoky taste. And honestly, when we put venison, when we put chops in there, the 2 ways that we found to keep the moisture in venison, the air fryer being one, that's probably the best way for us to keep it moist and keep the flavor. And then the other one is when we smoke it. It seems to have more taste and more of the tenderness in the meat. You know what I mean?
Makes sense. I mean, you can't go wrong smoking anything pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. The kicker is you got to sit there and wait for it to get done. So it's just showing the patience to be able to sit through smoking. And the first Laker that we actually smoked, I did a segment for Fall Obsession, and I documented smoking fish, and that was right around COVID time. It's on our website actually if you want to check it out. I talked about how to smoke a fish fillet, and I went through the whole steps. And I just set my alarm at like 6 a.m. I started at like 6 a.m. We actually started brining it the night before.
Yep.
And then smoked it the next morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then had to check it again at noon, and had to check it periodically throughout the day until it was done. And so, you watch a video and it's cut into shorter segments. Yeah. Obviously, it just seems like, it didn't take that long. Well, actually, it took all day. But
smoked salmon and smoked steelhead are probably my favorite.
Are they?
Oh yeah, you can't go.
Smoked salmon. I love smoked salmon.
Yeah.
Now you did catch some fish.
Yeah.
You caught some steelies. Yeah. Right. We had it posted on Follow Session.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. I'm still very new to steelhead fishing.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Successful.
Yeah, I've gone out for many, many years, and I've only caught 3 fish in my entire life.
Oh, jeez.
So I don't know if it's me or
3 more than either of us have.
It's all kind of luck, as much as people like to say it isn't.
So what worked for you? Or what have you noticed works for you?
My buddy Wyatt with the boat. Give him a call.
So there we go. If you want to catch some steelhead here in Michigan, get a hold of Wyatt.
Yeah, get a hold of Wyatt. No, you just run some simple float rigs, just like a swivel down to some leader line.
Okay.
Then beads and spawn, pretty much.
Oh, really? So that's what you use for bait?
Yeah. Okay. Beads and spawn, and then you just run a slip knot bobber way up top, and
sure.
It's pretty boring, not gonna lie. You just kind of cast behind some water and then just let it float, and then your bobber's gonna bounce a bunch, and you're gonna have 1,000 bobbers go down, and you're gonna go like this, and it's not gonna be a fish.
It's just from the current, right?
So the big one that was on Fall Obsession that I sent in. Yeah. My buddy had caught like 4 fish, and we'd gone to 5 different runs, and it was the last run of the day. We'd been fishing all day long. He actually skipped class. Shout out to Wyatt for that. Skip class for it. We dropped back in this wave.
Okay, let me ask, is Wyatt still in high school? Or
No, he's in college.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
It's okay, he paid for it.
So you got a high school teacher right here, so keep it on the down low.
We dropped way back to this run, and he drops the anchor, and he's like, "You don't catch fish out of here, you suck. It's on you. It's on you." And I'm sitting there, and I'm casting it. I think it was my 3rd cast, and just watching the float, and it kind of does a tap, tap, tap. And I was so out of it. I was just like, oh, bottom again. Didn't really care. And then Wyatt's he's got a real high pitched voice. He's like, that's a fish. And I just go swoop on him. And the fight was on.
I would say, how bad did it fight?
It's awesome. She ran upriver on us. She ran downriver. I had to go around the boat. It was chaotic, but awesome. You can't beat, river steelhead. I don't really care too much for them in the lake. When I think of a steelhead,
you think of river.
Yeah, they're not the best eating either, personally. For me, steelhead fishing is kind of the catch and release. Oh, okay. I think they're awesome. I'll try and keep 1 hen a year, especially if it's a stocked one. I like to keep the stocked ones and get some eggs out of it for spawn, and then.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, if you're going to eat trout, you might as well go for some browns or rainbows.
Do you brown trout?
A little bit. I'm no pro at that either. Just a mem spinner and.
Gotcha, because we got brown trout up by our cabin, and we cannot catch it to save our life.
Telling you.
Get a hold of Wyatt, right?
Mem spinner with a rooster tail. There you go.
Spinner and rooster tail. Remember that, Heather.
Silver with some white. It's the best thing you can do. We were up at turkey camp. We caught some little trout up in irons. We after turkey hunting in the morning, we went out and did a little trout fishing. And
you guys have a fish fry afterwards? And
I only caught one this little bit.
Well, you can stick it in there.
Had a lot of
microwave it.
Yeah, exactly. My buddy brought his Blackstone up, so we went and had some steaks. It was awesome.
Yeah,
that was a great time. Turkey camp. That's a lot of fun. No turkeys, unfortunately, but.
Gotcha, not in camp. Obviously,
no.
You and Shelby shot one here, right?
Yeah,
shot one.
Yep.
So, so we went bow fishing a few years ago. It was one of our hunts that we put on for Fall Obsession, or had going for Fall Obsession. And the coolest thing about it is none of us ate carp. You're shooting Asian carp, bow fishing, and if you're not used to the slime and the smell of fish and that, you're gonna get messy.
Yeah.
You're gonna get messy when you bow fish. But it's so much fun, and it takes a lot of skill to be able to shoot carp. One of our staffers, our former staffers, Heath, was just knocking them out of the park. He was from Missouri, and he showed up and just started slaying the fish. But then we decided to have a fish fry after, and I've never eaten carp. And everybody was like, carp? Nah. And the guy that was running the boat, he's like, no, I know how to dress them.
Yep.
So it's just going to taste like chicken. The cliche is going to taste like chicken. It did taste like chicken. It was very meaty, and it didn't taste fishy at all. It wasn't. And so he knew how to clean them up. So we had a huge fish fry after, and that was really cool. So we went out and shot fish and had a huge fish fry. So
that's a great time.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
I've never done it, but I've always wanted to. Bow fishing sounds. It looks fun too. I mean, you see it on videos. It looks like a blast.
Right.
You see carp everywhere around here too. I mean, they're pretty much any grassy lake, and they're there.
Yeah. So when I went with Andy, it's crazy up in North Dakota because he kept talking about these lakes, but the lakes look like ponds. Like seriously, like the ponds you see in pastures for the cattle and stuff like that. Like, that's not a lake. He's like, no, we can go to that lake right now and catch some pike. We can catch some wallies out of there. We can have a fish fry. I'm like, dude, let's do it.
North Dakota is a dream of mine.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. We can come next year and go to snow goose hunting.
Oh, I'm in.
It's just a matter of finding your way up there. So and it's not very expensive at all. There's a place to stay. Great time. Good time.
I bet.
Yeah. So I know Andy's working on that for next year too. Tyler's working on another crane hunt this year.
Yep.
It was just sent out a couple days ago. You probably saw that. So, but at any rate, Andy and I were talking about doing a fish fry. Let's go catch some fish and do a fish fry. Well, it started raining. So we're like, yeah, so we ended up just going down the road to a restaurant right up the road. So
there you go.
But it was a good time. So another part of you is photography.
Yep.
Outdoor photography in particular, right?
Yep.
So this dude, we brought him on. When did you come on? Was that January?
Oh, it was actually during like the end of summer.
The end of summer. So a little over a year ago, right? And when you become a staffer at Fall Obsession, you come on as a brand ambassador. So that's just kind of your entry level. Your expectations aren't as high as a field staffer. Aiden was going way above and beyond, and he's a phenomenal content creator. And so we offered him an opportunity to become a field staffer, and he has just excelled. And so his, I would say, expertise are outdoor photography, right?
Yep.
So talk to us about that. What got you into, or what generated your interest in outdoor photography?
So a little bit was kind of just always like taking pictures. I mean, always enjoyed capturing the moment, as you can say. And then my mom's friend had a camera, and then I kind of just started messing around with it. I hunt a lot and fish a lot, and I was like, oh, maybe I should try and take some pictures hunting and fishing.
Sure.
And then Miss Ellen, actually, shout out Miss Ellen, during creative writing had showed, talked about Fall Obsession, and I was like, man, that's kind of cool. And I could, take pictures of
Fall Obsession and high school curriculum.
Yeah. And so I actually took pictures at a basketball game and for yearbook class, and one of the students told the yearbook teacher, like, oh yeah, Aiden takes really good pictures. So she talked to me and she's like, hey, I want you to join yearbook. I was like, okay, do I get to take the camera home? Like, can I use it for hunting and fishing? And she's like, yeah, just don't break it. I was like, all right, I'm in. So I did yearbook, and then kind of just ran with it. I mean, I'm still learning. I'm very self-taught. I have a lot of room to grow, but I kind of just go for different angles, kind of something that not everyone's going to look at and be like, that's a picture, and try and turn it into something.
So one of the things that happened this week was you got a hold of me and said we had an opportunity on Saturday, which is tomorrow, to go across state and do a turkey hunt. You were going to film and that sort of thing. Obviously, it didn't work out because I got to work at the park tomorrow. But how often do you do that? I mean, how often do you get out and just film for somebody or get that content for somebody? And
so I went over to the east side last fall, and the year before. I'm still it's all about connections. So I'm still trying to make some right connections, networking, and trying to get a hold of some guys. I do it as much as I can. Like ever since I shot my bird opening day, I've been out every weekend, every day, trying to get people their birds and record them doing it. So.
And do you like still photography, or do you like filming, getting video, or what is your preference?
I want to get more into film.
Okay.
But I also just love a good picture. I love capturing the moment, capturing something. Like it's just something about that. You're going to look at that picture forever and kind of hold on to it. But I would, even though I'm not as good as it, I would probably say videography, just because kind of capture that moment. Sure. I mean, the video of me and my girlfriend shooting our bird, and going to have that forever. And
absolutely. And that's Sam and I. Sam has mentioned it. We've talked about it many times on Fall Obsession and the podcast and the different types of publications that we have, is that when you are able to create a film like that, you have that forever. I could be 80 years old and look back to when I was 20, or not 20. I wasn't 20 when I shot. Well, kids say I was 20 when I shot my first turkey. But you can look back to that time and relive that memory. And I got Tala's first deer on video. And I'll always have that. And she will remember it, but she won't remember exactly how it went down. And I have it on video, and so. Even now when we look back or come across it on my phone, it's like, man, I remember that. That was such an awesome day. So looking forward to get Pipey out there. Pipey isn't the hunter that Tala is. Tala will want to go out. She'll go out a couple times, and she kind of, Pipey, you almost have to beg to get her out in the stand.
I think she's a little more antsy, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, she'll go out if she has an iPad or a phone or something like that. So
I mean, I was kind of the same way too. Like I never really wanted to deer hunt growing up. Pretty much, it was kind of just a thing to do. But like the older I get, the more I realize like that sitting down time after, and it's just you and God and just His creation. Like, you can't pass that up.
It's so peaceful. It's such a stress reliever. You don't have to think about the hustle and bustle of everyday life and the bills that you got to pay and got to be here at this time and there at that time. And you know what I mean? You can just sit and just enjoy, like you said. And so yeah.
She just needs to mature.
Pipey needs to mature.
Pipey needs to just get a little older. She'll be fine.
Hopefully, yeah. So I can't wait for that day.
If we get her duck hunting, she would like duck hunting.
She loves goose hunting. So when we go on snow goose hunts and we'd come as a family, she loves sitting in the blind and being able to see the birds.
Move around.
She needs a little movement.
Yep.
Yeah, and with duck hunting and with goose hunting, you can move a little bit more than with deer hunting. Deer hunting, they could be on the edge of a field, and as soon as they step in, and you might itch your nose or twitch your nose or something, and they see that movement and they freeze up right away. You know what I mean?
That's duck hunting is the best because the camaraderie. Like hanging out with buddies. There's nothing better than that. Yeah. You can't pass it up. And even turkey hunting too. I personally like to do the run and gun, so that's a lot more fun.
Than sitting away.
Yeah, I always say I don't want to deer hunt a turkey. If I wanted to deer hunt a turkey, I'd hunt them in fall, sit where they walk by and wait for them to walk by. But when you're hunting in the spring, it's about getting them to gobble and strut their way in.
Oh, sure.
Can't pass that up.
Yeah. So I don't feel comfortable to be able. I tried it actually a couple times, and then obviously being newer to hunting, because really I didn't really hunt turkeys until COVID. Yep. Because I was involved with baseball for so long, coaching and playing and all that stuff my entire life.
Best umpire I ever had right here. I swear by it.
So since that time I started umpiring a year or two before COVID, and then COVID, obviously everything shut down.
Yep.
So we had nothing to do. So I went out and started turkey hunting, and I love turkey hunting, and so now with umpiring, I have the flexibility of saying, hey, I don't have to take a game on that day, so because I want to go out turkey hunting on that day. And so, whereas as a coach, you really don't have that flexibility. The schedule is set for you. You have to have practice on a certain day, and you have certain things. And so your days, the only day you might get off is a Sunday, maybe. You know what I mean? Yeah. So our time was taken up. Well, geez, we're getting to the end of that springtime rush. Heather has her track meet next weekend, and I have district baseball next week. And then after that, our spring sports are pretty much over with. So yeah, so we're getting to the end of things. Like I said, with Memorial Day weekend, we're able to relax a little bit, knowing that it's going to get less crazy after Memorial Day, and then we're able to enjoy our time a little bit until football season comes.
Yeah. And you get busy again.
Yeah, busy again. And Heather maybe not as busy, simply because although she might be helping out with cross country this fall, but we'll see what happens.
Nothing planned.
So goals for this year. What's your goal? I mean, we're kind of in that tweener right now. We're at the end of turkey season. We're getting into getting food plots ready and our hunting areas. Getting them ready for the fall. What is your goal this year, knowing that we're leading into the fall here in a few months?
Well, so got a little bit more turkey hunting to do. I'm gonna try and get my buddy Jake on one tomorrow.
Okay.
Get that on video, and then, fishing. Do a little bit of bass fishing.
Oh yeah.
Gotta stay on the largies.
Walleye? Not so much.
No, I'm more a bass fisherman.
Okay.
I like seeing them hit the frog.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then pigeon hunting.
Oh.
Gotta stay mad at the pigeon. Help the farmers out.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And my goal for next fall, I want to do more work. My goal in life is to become a guide. I'd like to become a waterfowl guide. I've been working at it pretty hard, making those connections with people, and that is my goal. So I like to, by next fall, kind of be stepping a little bit more in the right direction, kind of getting the dice rolling on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, mine is, we just saw a group of deer again. It's kind of what happened last year across the street. We had a group of deer come out with some really good antler growth early. We saw that again already.
Yep.
And so my goal next year would be, of course, first and foremost, get some meat in the freezer because we're getting low on meat already. And then, I really want to shoot a nice quality buck.
Yeah.
Again, at least one quality buck. And then, again, you never know until you actually put your butt in the stand and see what happens. But my goal going into the season will be trying to get a quality buck.
There you go.
So, yeah. And then, of course, crane hunt. We'll put some crane meat in the freezer. That's good meat. That's the best bird meat ever, as long as you avoid the pellets that are still in there. And then, the snow goose hunt and
Pheasant hunting.
Oh,
pheasant hunting. Yeah, with the crane hunt, they're offering pheasant hunting too.
I've always wanted to do that
With our dogs.
Because crane hunting, it's crazy because you go out there and you hunt from sun up to about noon. At noon they start to go, and the last time we went out, the guide told us they start tornadoing up, which they do. They tornado up and they go up and up and up. Their hunt's over at that time. He said as they're tornadoing up, they get to a certain altitude and they just go to sleep. They just glide and they sleep. That's how they sleep.
Oh, wow.
They glide. So they could end up wherever, but they're sleeping during that time.
Huh.
Like, what? That's crazy.
I've never heard that.
We didn't either. We're like, this is ridiculous. This is weird.
Yeah.
But you see it. You see them tornadoing up and then they start. So yeah, trying to fill the freezer with some more crane and just get as much meat as we can. I'd love to get some more fish this summer. So
yeah,
we haven't had fish in a few years. So
and some bluegills.
Yeah. I love catching bluegills. I hate filleting bluegills.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem.
Yeah. So, well, we are about done with our time. I appreciate you joining us, Aiden. And if you guys haven't seen Couch Chats before, we are on Carbon TV Network. You can check us out on YouTube. If you ever want to see what Fall Obsession is about, just Google fallobsession.com and you can check us out on the website. Aiden has a bunch of content. We talked about his pictures, his videos. You also have a personal site, right?
Yep. I have Instagram, all lowercase, Aiden.films3. So if you guys want to check out some of the videos and photos, check me out there. Does a great job. So, check us out in the future. We'll have more episodes coming to you. This is Aiden. I am Todd. We are obsessed. Have a good one.